Hi, and thank you for checking out the behind the scenes interview with Diane, our volunteer services manager, as part of Cornerstone's Myth and Truth series. The following are some questions that I sat down and asked Diane and her recorded answers. Thank you for watching today. What led me to Cornerstone was actually the fact that my father was on services several years ago, passed away on Cornerstone Hospice services. And when I saw the posting I originally came on as a volunteer specialist when I came on for that role, I just knew it in my heart and my gut that this is where I was supposed to be. I had spent over a decade doing the similar work for a local animal shelter, so it was in my wheelhouse, and I came over, really kind of hit the ground running. I grew the program in Orange County from having 12 volunteers to having upwards of 100 volunteers, and I was able to move into the role of volunteer services manager about 2 years into my tenure here. I actually loved the role of volunteer specialist. I actually also really loved the fact that the program that I had taken over really hadn't ever taken off. I love fixing things, so this was like a big project for me. I was able to just kind of come in to start getting out there to network, to really start building that program, getting those volunteers in, try to simplify the process. I always say that there's a lot of fiery hoops for our volunteers to jump through, so one of my biggest things that I always wanted to do was eliminate all the fiery hoops as much as possible. Our volunteers could get them engaged, get them working, and we were just able to rise from a percentage that I couldn't even calculate when I started to hitting over 4% of our volunteers in Orange County. So it was awesome. And then being able to transition into the role of volunteer services manager, I think it's really helped me that I did the job before, so I really know what my team is doing, what they're up against, and how to help them be successful. My favorite opportunity that we have for our volunteers is definitely the pet peace of mind. As I mentioned before, I spent over a decade in animal welfare, so it's near and dear to my heart. The fact that we were able to keep pets in the home with those patients so they don't have to add their pet to their long list of losses during hospice care, it really is very special to me. And then the fact that we're able to help them plan for that pet afterwards, so we keep that pet out of the shelter. I just think it's so special, and it comes with some of the most heartwarming stories of all. Actually, just recently we had a case where a patient had a dog who's very elderly and blind, and he was very worried that she was going to fall into his pool and that he wouldn't be able to save her because he was bedbound. So we were able to place that pet into a foster home for him, so he knew that she was safe and taken care of, and that foster parent was able to bring the pet to him to visit here and there, so he was still able to see her. He recently passed away, and the foster parent did adopt the dog, so it's just a happy ending story for everybody all around on that one. We have stories like that take place all over the place all the time, in all of our different programs. Another one of our programs is our Vigil program, where we train volunteers to sit with patients who are actively transitioning alone. So these are patients that either maybe have no friends or family left, or maybe their friends or family are overseas. We had a recent one where a gentleman was passing away, he was actively transitioning, and all of his family was in Dubai, and there was no way they were going to make it back in time. So one of our Vigil volunteers went, and she sat with him for 19 hours, so that he would not be alone during his transition. Just absolutely incredible what our volunteers give to our patients. Don't be afraid to volunteer for hospice. So many of my volunteers have said time and time again that they thought they were going to be, nervous or scared, or they were worried about it being sad or depressing, and they've come to me saying how much they've enjoyed it, how much just like light it brings into their lives, how much fun that it can be. So I would just say, don't be scared. Go ahead and give it a shot. We're here for you. We're going to hold your hand and walk you through it, and you really can make a difference. There's a saying that says the last good thing in someone's life could be a hospice volunteer, and that could be you.